On you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rack. I'm here with my boy Petey. Today we're talking about that scandal. I guess it's a scandal, but a reprint of Hulk, Immortal Hulk number 43. Marvel's going to reprint some comics based on some anti-Semitism accusations that have been.
Stop, not, no. An error in the art, not the thing. And you can't start out saying that it's anti-Semitic. You have to say that the artist made an error, which is now interpreted as being anti-Semitic. Don't start out with the anti-Semitic. Start out with the artist drew something that people found offensive and then added insult to injury, saying, you have something here, we don't like it, and this is the issue.
Okay, I was going to say there are accusations of anti-Semitism in this because of what was put in how things were drawing in the particular panel, with the Star of David, and instead of they had, it looks like it says jewelry as opposed to jewelry store. It's a pawn shop that he went to. So the question is whether or not this was intentional or whether this was just something that slipped through the editorial process where they should have caught something like this and have reviewed it. That's where I'm taking it from. You really want to definitely always be cognizant of different points of view, be sensitive to different communities. But in here, it looks to me like it may have been more of a situation where they made a mistake, and it went straight through without anybody catching it.
It's not, okay, so this is the problem.
But
first off, that he's saying that this is seemingly similar to a scene like in Uncut Gems, where the people were Jewish people, right?
Right.
So if they forgot the L, it doesn't say juror. It says jury. Jury. Because there's a Y. She's blocking the Y, right? You're looking at it? You see it on screen now?
Yeah.
So they keep saying, let's condense it because we can only see the R. He didn't forget. We don't know that he forgot the Y. The woman is blocking it. But it does, when you say it's jury, right? Jury or jury, it doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like an error, right? When you turn it into juror, then that says, but that's not an actual insult. That would be a new thing that they'd have to create to become some sort of insult. So this is a mistake. We can see it. We can say we don't like the Star of David. We don't want it in front of jewelry sellers and resell when they buy and resell jewelry for less than the cost.
The thing is that I think where you have the Star of David and then you have the beginning is jewelry as opposed to jewelry. It doesn't have the L, jewelry.
It's a mistake. Are you saying that it's not a mistake?
I'm saying I think it's just that when you have those two things there, it was a mistake. I'm not disagreeing it was a mistake, but I'm just trying to say.
You're not saying it first. You're saying.
But what I'm saying that people, can I finish what I'm saying?
No, you're not. Sorry.
So what I'm saying is that every time, so the people are very sensitive to this, and they feel that this is what it came out. Could it be correct? But this is how they're particularly feeling about this. And so Marvel's reaction is to, redo the comic, pull out that scene or pull out that change the way that scene is done. Okay. So
I'm saying, all right.
I'm if you're saying
wait. We're not just wrapping this up here. I'm saying to you, if you find an error in the book and you decide it's big enough to redo and change, then by all means. But don't try to back it up with an error. It's clearly an error, and it's the word that they're using, juror, is not the case because she's blocking the Y. It's like, we'll just take what we can see and we'll use that. That I'm not with. If you don't want you want to decide that, you know what? And on the other side, the people in the store, there's nothing offensive about them. There's no thing. The woman there is fine. It's like, well, I guess it's supposed to be whoever is the Immortal Hulk. He's this guy is
it's Joe Fixit. Is a slime bag.
But he's like this guy is a mess compared to the person who's selling. She's a normal person. There's nothing offensive about her and anything like that. So every time you see this and you see an error, we have to say, you know what? Some of this we can't, but then people want stuff to go viral. And the artist has apologized. He's apologized a couple times, that sort of thing. And it seems
Oh,
to be,
we understand. That's what I'm trying to get to. It was an accident. The artist didn't mean it, and now Marvel is making corrections. That's all we're saying.
that's
Trying to.
not all you were saying. You were saying that they use you saw it, and then you have to think about the people that are going to make up their own thing. They're going to make up their own word called Jewer, not factor in that there's a wife that the girl is in front of. It's like we'll just take what we can see. That's what I had to factor in. We gotta factor in that sometimes it's like, so he's saying no excuse how he depicted the Star of David, right?
Yes.
But how did he depict it? What's wrong with it? That it's in front of a jewelry store, or is it connection to an error, right?
You're talking about, yeah. There's the absence. Some people are bringing up the whole absence of the L. They think there's going to be a Y at the very end. They don't see the Y, but they know it. They just think the way that depiction is there, as opposed to the way using the Star of David basically says, "Hey, this is a Jewish pawn shop or something like that," and they feel that the way it's written and is evidently made to look like it's Jewish, that's why. If you're going to say it, you don't say it like that. So that's what they're having a problem with. I don't see the controversy. The artist apologized. He said there was a mistake in how this was done. It wasn't meant to offend anybody, and so now they're making changes to the comic. So I think that's a good first thing. They both all came out and said sorry about it. So I think this issue has been resolved. The only problem is that people are going to go out to the comic and they're going to try to get this version of the comic, and
Yeah.
it's going to skyrocket, and it's going to be those people who want to see these type of imperfections, done. You're going to have one group who are like, hey, we want it because of the rarity, and there's going to be another group of people because we want it because of what they think it could represent.
But that'll be only like a week, like when they had Batgirl and All Star Batman and Robin say curse words, but then they tried to redact them. But the way they redacted it, you could still see the words under it. And DC plan was to destroy all of them. And of course, that ultimately, I think initially there was some big sales, but I think it kind of, you know, dissipated. So,
Well, they had the whole thing also. You're right. They also had the same thing what they did with the Batman. What is it? What's that dark imprint they have? The Batman.
oh, Batman, what was it?
Oh,
Batman.
not Batman. I was gonna say Batman Beyond, but it's Batman. I forgot the name of it. But there's the Batman comic where he was nude. They showed. They did something. What was it called? Batman show. Yeah, Batman shows his junk. That's what somebody called it. That was when you had Batman. When you had Batman
Damned.
#1, yeah. So, and of course they claimed they cut it out or whatever, and it was supposed to be a harder core, and they were going to have a whole book on what Harley Quinn was going to be involved, and people were like, okay, I think we're going a little too far. But probably that was just done to bring up more. What are you talking about? More publicity to the thing. I don't think this issue with the Hulk was the same thing. I think it was just an editorial issue where no one did enough of the proper proofreading and checked this out before it was done. That's what I think there. And it wasn't. Whereas Batman Damned, it was hell yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to generate mad buzz, and then we're just going to walk it back.
Well, they ultimately that was that, but it was also that it was supposed to be a risque book. It was their new Black Label thing, and they were like, we're pushing buttons.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, wait a second, we're Batman. We can't do that.
Oh yeah. And now the prices, I mean, I think I see it going for 20 to the original is going for like $1,200 or something. But yeah, it's a DC Black Label. It's the comics is a weird market. You have people who go after stuff. We were just talking about some videos for not videos, a Kickstarter that did like a phenomenally well. Basically, sold over 600,000 comics, and the comic, a lot of people said, I think Khaled said it looks like a generic, hash and slash comic, but it has Keanu Reeves associated with it, and so it does very well. You have this comic here, Batman Damned, because of the what was shown there. People are going to run out and get this comic, even though now all the new ones have it covered up. And then you have this issue with the Hulk 43. Most people are going to say, "Now this is nothing," but there's some people who were offended. So Marvel changes it up, and now that particular comic is going to be worth quite a bit.
I think I don't know. I get it, but I think making this sort of, I don't know. I guess when you have it and you use the Star of David, you try to connect to something like Uncut Gems, which is, these Jewish guys that are pretty seedy. I don't know. I guess they can. It's their imagery. They can decide what's wrong and wrong and right. But then at the same time, they're like, hey, you guys are being a little sensitive here. This wasn't racist. That wasn't racist. Anti-Semitic, you can't say nothing about it. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I got for that one.
Hey, well, so hey, thanks for stepping in, talking to us. Thanks for sitting in. We talked about this particular controversy. Spitterack
Out.
Now let's get to the other young lady.
Hold on, let me stop this.